vinyl community. This is Randy. Back today with another video. I've picked up some records here in the first part of August, so I'm going to show those to you today. The first one that I've got here is Easter Everywhere by 13th Floor Elevators. I got this one within the past 10 days or so. This is fantastic. This is my favorite album of the year that I've gotten so far in 2020. This record came out in 1967. It's the second album for the 13th Floor Elevators, and I'm not really sure what year this reissue came out. It's on this red vinyl. It's on International Artists Records. By looking up in Discogs, it's kind of hard to tell. They have one listed on there for red, but it doesn't seem to match that one. They have another one for colored vinyl. So I think this one might be the colored vinyl one, which didn't have a year associated with it. But either way, it sounds pretty good. It was not sealed when I got it, but the guy I got it from said that it was had only been played once, and he play graded it as near mint. But it's not near mint. There's no way he could have play graded it and called it near mint. It has some clicks and pops on it, a little bit of surface noise. But basically it's okay. This is a stereo record, but it sounds a lot better on the with the mono cartridge. So I've been playing this one strictly on mono. It sounds much better that way. There's just too much bass on this or something. It just overwhelms it on the stereo cartridge. But the record itself is great. I had the first 13th Floor Elevators album. This is a Sundays mono reissue from 2008. That one was perfect. And it took me a while to get used to that, just mostly because of that jug guy playing the jug, but I finally did. And then recently I saw Baggy Hi-Fi John talking about, it was either this one or he may have been talking about Bull of the Woods, the next one, but he really reminded me that I wanted to hear some more, so I got this one, and yeah, this is just great. So yeah, it starts out with a long 7-minute song, Slip Inside This House. My favorite thing on here, though, is their version of Bob Dylan's It's All Over Now, Baby Blue. It's a fantastic version. It really is my favorite version of this song by anyone. This is a beautiful ringing guitar. Side 2 starts with Earthquake. It has a couple of really great songs I like. One called Dust. One called I Had to Tell You. It closes with a fantastic song called Postures. Leave Your Body Behind. So this is just a great album, and I want to get Bull of the Woods now too, so I was really happy to get that one. I got an album from 1965, the Grand Bond Organization. This record was sealed when I got it, so this is a new reissue. I think this was reissued within the past couple of years. So the Grand Bond Organization was a 4-man band. It tells me here in these liner notes that all 4 of them had been members of Alexis Corner's Blues Incorporated. They all left at once to form this band. Graham Bond is an organist. He also plays some alto sax. There is a sax player, a tenor sax player. His name is Dick Hextall Smith. This band also has Ginger Baker on drums and Jack Bruce on bass. 2 people who went on later to be in Cream. I really like this record a lot too. It's like rhythm and blues, I would call it. You know, it's sort of an unusual distribution of instruments with organ, saxophone, bass, and drums, but it sounds really good. There's 3 instrumentals on. I think it's 3 instrumentals on here. There's some cover songs. There's some originals. I did that Cream retrospective a couple of weeks ago, and I did not realize that the song Train Time was actually a Graham Bond Organization song. That song is on here. It's credited to all 4 members. All the songs on here that are credited, that are original songs, are credited to all 4 members of the band. So yeah, Train Time is on here. It has a little bit more than the harmonica and drums that were on the Cream version that was on Wheels of Fire on the live version there. This has some organ and some saxophone with it too. So yeah, this is a really good rhythm and blues type record. I'm really enjoying it. So reissue. Sounds perfect. It's on Repertoire Records. So, I'm not sure. I think maybe that's a reissue label in the UK. I got this Stooges album live at Goose Lake, August 8th, 1970. This has been shown a couple times recently. Vinyl Richie showed this one, and also Dave the Pickup Artist. So Dave the Pickup Artist did a really thorough review on this, so I'm going to leave a link to that down here. This is the last ever show by the original version of the Stooges, and it tells the whole story of that in here. And this is a bootleg recording. Dave mentioned that it's bootleg quality, and I would agree with that. It's not a hi-fi sounding record. It's fun to hear it for historical purposes, and some of the music is pretty good that you could hear coming through. But yeah, it's definitely not a hi-fi sounding record. This is on Third Man Records. I ordered it from the internet. They actually had an option. I was going to have it mailed to me. They had an option to just go by and pick it up, so I did that. I went by and picked it up just yesterday, actually. Listened to it several times yesterday. It's pretty good. Very first Stooges album I ever heard. So that features just music from the Funhouse album, strictly the Funhouse album. The very first Stooges album I ever heard was Metallic KO. This is the last performance by the revised version of the band, which they dropped the bass player, Dave Alexander, and moved Ron Ashton from guitar over to bass, picked up James Williamson on guitar. This is the Michigan Palace, and this was just very entertaining because there's a lot of interaction between Iggy and the audience, and Iggy just introduces the songs in between. You can understand what he's saying a little bit better than you can on the Goose Lake record. So this one is really, I mean, if I were to choose between the two, I would probably pick this one first. Yeah, like I say, mostly just because of those parts. Whether they also feature two different songs, two different sets of songs. Metallic KO is pretty much raw power, or songs from Raw Power, and then some covers like Louie Louie. And the Goose Lake is strictly Funhouse. So it's on Visa Records. That's what that one looks like. I got another record that Vinyl Richie showed just last week, a few days ago. Grateful Dead, Dick's Picks, Volume 26. This is a 4-record set, 8 sides. This is one of the Dick's Picks. Some of the Dick's Picks actually featured 2 shows. So sometimes they would be like 2 shows from one city, 2 shows from Boston, for instance. This one has a show from Chicago, Illinois on April 26th, and from April the 27th in Minneapolis. So this one is, it tells me in the liner notes here that the show in Chicago on the 26th is the second night in a row they played there. The Friday night on the 25th, they opened for the Velvet Underground. And on this night, the Saturday night, the Velvet Underground opened for them. So it must have been an interesting show. And so this first show on here, I guess the main center point of this one would be the That's It for the other one, Cryptical Envelopment, the other one. Also has the 11, goes back to the other one. Both shows have Turn On Your Love Light, so you get 2 versions of Love Light on here. But for me, the real centerpiece of the whole album is the Dark Star from Minneapolis. It's 26 minutes long, so it starts out on side 5 and then finishes on side 6. So it's kind of too bad they had to split it across 2 sides. But I think with a 26-minute long song, it would probably be difficult to put it all on one side anyway and have good sound quality. So yeah, but this is a great album. I'm really liking this one, particularly that Dark Star. But the whole thing is good. Fantastic version of Morning Dew at the end. So yeah, Dick's Picks number 26. Been enjoying that one. And here's what that one looks like. So yeah, that was from April of 1969. I actually got in the mail number 35. So this one is from the Philadelphia Civic Center on April 20th of 1984. So, different version of the band here. Brent Midland playing keyboards instead of Tom Constantin and Pigpen. I think almost all entirely different songs. And this one has some filler material from the previous night, from April 19th. So it's April 19 and 20 from there in Philadelphia. I haven't heard all of this one yet. I have heard the first two discs. This has a fantastic version of Scarlet Begonia's Fire on the Mountain. Yeah, so this is a good record. I'm going to finish listening to it soon. Here's what the inside of it looks like. Picture of the band. CDs. Yeah, so Dave's pick, number 35. Glad to get that one. Michael P. Dawson did a review recently of Blows Against the Empire, and he did like a 20-minute video, and it was really good, really thorough, and really made me want to hear it. So I sent off for this copy. I got a pretty good used copy of this one. It's a Paul Kantner album. Well, it's Jefferson Starship, but it's mostly just Paul Kantner. I think it could have been credited to Grace Slick too, because she has written some of the songs and she sings about half of it. But mostly credited to Paul Kantner. Jay Garcia plays on this too, along with David Crosby, Mickey Hart. So a lot of people playing on here. Jorma Kaukonen also plays on here. Yeah, so this was recorded in San Francisco. Those are sort of the credits. So Michael did an excellent review of this. This is it's basically a science fiction story about leaving the Earth to go somewhere else and live. So, inner sleeve there has this cool booklet that came with it, with some art in here by Paul and Grace, along with the lyrics. Yeah, very cool booklet. This just tells on the back who it is that they're looking for to go along on the journey. So it says all positions are open: captains, astral navigators, cooks, dancers, and energy centers. So, yeah, Jefferson Starship, leaving the Earth. Got a rock and roll album, Let There Be Rock by ACCDC. Never actually owned this album before. I've heard it pretty much since the day it came out. I've had tapes of it and everything, but never really had the album. I looked online, but it seemed like most of the used ones that were still in pretty good shape cost just about as much as this new one. So I got this reissue from, I think it's from 2003, but it was sealed when I got it. So I mean, I'm not sure what that means exactly. Surely it's not 17 years old, but it came with this cool inner sleeve, which sort of tells about the record itself and where ACDC was at this point in their career. Some custom label. Yeah, Let There Be Rock, such a fantastic album. I mean, the title cut, Let There Be Rock, is just fantastic. Problem Child, Overdose, Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be is fantastic. But, you know, for me, the centerpiece of this whole album is Whole Lotta Rosie. Such a fantastic song. Great album cover. ACDC. Got a couple of novelty type records. So Beth at B-Side Records showed this Psychedelic Sex Kicks soundtrack. I think it was in her June soundtrack preview for records that were coming out. So I got this one. This also came with a DVD, and no, this is just purely a novelty. It's mostly just sitar music with a lot of dialogue from what it comes with this DVD. So it's this really cheesy movie, which is from the 60s, has a lot of drug taking and nudity. There's a lot of just clips from other movies and stuff on there too. It's about, I think it's like 2 hours worth of video on that DVD. I haven't seen all of it yet. It's just, well, strictly for novelty's sake. It's just for laughs. This wasn't terribly expensive. I wouldn't really recommend it to anyone in this, you know, just for the cover itself, or, you know, maybe if you really like sitar music, but it's not like it's killer sitar music or anything. But anyway, it's cool enough to have. I might listen to it sometime. The label looks like. And I got one more novelty type record here, which is a picture disc. So this is Vince Guaraldi. I've been listening to some Vince Guaraldi, the other record that I have by him, and I thought I would like to get some more, so I was looking online, and normally I wouldn't really get a picture disc, but this one is made by Kraft Recordings, so I figured, you know, Kraft might make a pretty good picture disc, so I got it, and it does. It sounds just fine. There's no surface noise at all. I've got a few other picture discs, which are on the wall up there, and those, I mean, I've played 2 or 3 of those, and they have really bad surface noise. You wouldn't really want to use those as your player copy. But this one sounds just fine. So I was thinking if it didn't sound good, I probably would just put it on the wall, but since it sounds good, I won't put it on the wall. So this has a couple of repeats from the album I already had, like Linus and Lucy, but there are other songs in it. Actually, the version of Linus and Lucy is different. It's a different version with different instrumentation, so that's good. And there's a really cool song in here, Little Birdie, with vocals on it, with a guy singing. So, yeah, so it's a cool novelty record to get. So, yes, that's what I've gotten in the first part of August. The background music we've been hearing is Jeff the Brotherhood, Gremlins Volume 1. So, yeah, that's it. So those are the records I've gotten here in the first part of August. So, yeah, let me know what you think about those. And, yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. Thanks very much for watching.